Online and traditional education settings. Differences. Traditional learning requires students to congregate and learn the course material at the same time, whereas online education is completed at each individual student's own discretion. Whereas online education, it not only presents the difficulties and challenges of the course itself, but also having to learn to properly navigate the course's learning management system. According to Merriam and Baumgartner, this online education actually creates a digital divide amongst the students based on their digital capabilities and past experiences. The similarities between the two is that regardless of how the information is being distributed to students, whether it be online or in person, the educator is responsible for creating a challenging yet engaging curriculum for his or her students. Also, in both learning environments, students are held to the same standards. Whether it be online or traditional, the students will complete a similar workload, face similar challenges, and learn the same material. Some advantages of traditional education include less distractions and outside factors. When a student is there in the classroom, there isn't much taking away from his or her attention. Whereas when you're in the comfort of your own home, it becomes very easy to not want to do work and get distracted. Also, you have immediate access to your classmates and professors. It is much easier to go up and approach somebody that you don't know when they're sitting next to you and ask them a question than it would be to message a classmate that you perhaps wouldn't know for some outside information. And you also don't experience that delay in communication that you do in online settings. Some disadvantages of traditional education are it comes with a strict schedule. You're there on the educator's time. You're there from a certain time, certain days, no matter what. And this lack of flexibility often creates stress or issues for students. Also, there's an aspect of social anxiety and stage fright that is not present with online education. For instance, I want to teach public speaking, and this can be the most frightening course for many students because it requires presenting in front of a large group of strangers. Some learning theories that can be applied in traditional setting. I think the easiest one would be the andragogy approach, which, because the students are already there, it is easier to assign them into groups. According to Yannikos et al., the andragogy approach calls for the educator to split the students into groups and have them do the majority of facilitating the discussion, while the educator plays an outside role and is only really there to encourage them and maybe change up the discussion if they notice things get stagnant. Whereas this is much more difficult to do in an online course due to its asynchronous nature. The best methods for presenting information in a traditional setting, like I mentioned, the andragogy approach, it not only allows the students to learn from one another and grow based off each other's viewpoints, but also establishes a familiarity amongst one another, which makes it easier to present towards the end of the class. Another method is to have the students do these hands-on trials, whereas for instance, in a public speaking course, it's difficult to simulate the emotions and challenges that come with presenting in front of a large group of people. But this setting offers students the opportunity to go up there and fail and learn and grow from those experiences without any consequence. The advantages of online education include that there are no peer pressure. You're free from any social expectations of the classroom, and students are able to edit and fine tune their final submissions. Whereas if I was presenting this in front of you today, I would just have to keep rolling with whatever's said. I've been able to do multiple takes of this presentation. Some disadvantages. It's easy to lose track of assignments and due dates. With no peer pressure, there's no one there to be like, hey, remember, you have this paper due on Wednesday, don't forget. Also, your classmates and professors are less accessible. You can message them, but it's going to be really easy to experience a delay in communication because of differing schedules. Some adult learning theories that can be applied in online education. I mentioned it would be difficult to apply an andragogical approach, but the professors here at Grand Canyon have found a great way to do it and have their classes be rooted in student-led discussions, despite it being an asynchronous course. Other methods that would be easy to apply would be the social change or transformative approaches with all of the news available to you and resources at the tip of your fingers. Finally, the best methods for presenting information in an online education, I believe that it would be similar to the andragogical approach that has been adopted here at Grand Canyon. Student-led discussions based upon the course material allow for students to interact with one another's viewpoint while maintaining the asynchronous nature of the course. In addition, these discussions, it's best to pair them with a lengthier assignment to give students a chance to prove themselves in a formal setting. Thank you so much. Have a good day.